Welcome to my video on Boundless Qualities of Meditation. Throughout this video, my goal is to be able to bring college students a simple way to bring mindfulness into their daily routine. At first, one might not realize the immense Buddhist influence over American culture. Students, especially our age, might think that meditation has to be done by a monk or in some obscure ritual that an average person is unable to do. But these are all just merely myths. One of the first people to point out the Buddhist influence in the Americas is Jeff Wilson in his work Mindful America. Over the past 3 decades, mindfulness has gone from some obscure Asian religion technique to a serious money-making business in the United States. If you think about it, in daily American life, I bet you can pinpoint practitioners for mindful eating, sex, parenting, work, sports, stress reduction, addiction recovery, and so many more. Because of this subliminal Buddhist influence over our daily life, why wouldn't want to try out a form of meditation that emphasizes a kind heart? The 4 boundless qualities, which are loving kindness, compassion, sympathetic joy, and impartiality, are aimed so that one can have these intentions at all times by checking one's daily attitude. I will be showing you the instructions for this discourse of meditation by using images and thoughts to open the door. So, without further ado, let's get started with the meditations. Loving kindness is the thought that all beings are striving for happiness and comfort. First, we can start off by helping the mind stabilize. You can do this by making yourself comfortable and focusing on breath awareness, as shown here. Start with yourself and think, may my desires and yearnings be fulfilled. May I find happiness. There are lots of good reasons to begin this practice directed towards ourselves, especially in the culture which we have been raised in, that much emphasizes self-praise. Next, shift your focus towards the person who you admire and love. Wish the same 4 expressions upon your loved one. May I be free of anonymity. May I be free of affliction. May I be free of anxiety. May I be well and happy. Next, think of a neutral person and do the same for them once more. Finally, the hardest part with love and kindness is to think of an enemy. Oftentimes, college students can be quick to make judgments and not offer kindness to everyone, which is a big flaw that needs to be addressed. The next idea to meditate on is compassion. Caring about the suffering of others as if it was your own. Our culture seems to say that if you don't feel sadness in another person's stress, you must be indifferent or lacking emotion. In this way, sadness is falsely equated with compassion. To start this meditation, begin by bringing to mind a person for whom you is suffering adversely. Vividly picture the whole situation. Apply this simply to someone you know that is suffering. Then apply this to a dear friend, then a neutral person, and finally, towards a hostile person. Bring to mind a person who engages in very harmful actions of jealousy, malice, spite, or selfishness. What makes this person appear so vile? Then imagine yourself in the same situation as this person. You would want to be free of these afflictions. Because of this, wish the person who you originally thought of free as well. Oftentimes in college life, whether it is group projects, bad roommates, or other college happenings, we can be too harsh and not give people the compassion they deserve. You never truly know what a person is going through. For sympathetic joy, imagine a well-to-do person experiencing comfort, happiness, and a long life, surrounded by many attendants and great wealth. Without feeling of any jealousy or rivalry, make the wish that they will become even better off. Tell yourself again and again how wonderful it would be if all other beings could live like this as well. Picture a joyful person. Simply dwell on that joy in a relaxed way. Move on to a neutral person and then finally a hostile person. Bring to mind an occasion of this hostile person has been really happy, even if rare. That brings a transformation of the mind. When you hear someone else is doing well, pause and rejoice in that. This acts as a direct antidote for jealousy and bringing an active way of life. This concept of sympathetic joy is vastly overlooked in college life. People are constantly competing for the best grades, internships, extracurriculars, and much more. It can be hard at times to truly take joy in our peers' accomplishments, which is something hopefully one can fix through meditating on these practices again and again. The final concept is impartiality. Having even-minded attitudes towards all beings, free of attachment to those close of us, and aversion for those who are distant. In former lives, which we call karma, our enemies have once been our friends, and our friends have once been our enemies. Thus, we should be impartial to everyone. There is not one of our enemies that had not once been our father or our mother in a previous life. First, shift your mind towards a person whom you love. Thinking about them gives you happiness, and there is naturally some sort of attachment. Let this attachment arise, then pause and question what here is so attractive. This person, however many years ago, was merely a stranger to you, and can be a memory in the near future. This is not to decrease feelings, only to decrease cravings, which need to be leveled. Then, shift to a neutral person. Bring this person to mind and ask yourself, why do you feel so neutral? Is it that this person's desires don't count? Does this individual have no personality? But in 2 years, they could be your best friend, or your sworn enemy. And so recognize this, and that it's all just causes and conditions that place anyone temporarily in this neutral category. Finally, in the third case, focus on a hostile person and arouse your own anger. Bring this person to mind and admit that you think they are in fact disgusting. Then ask yourself, what's the basis for this? Years ago, this person was not your enemy. Years from now, this person might just be a memory for you. Why are you so minded with convoluted suffering? It's just causes and conditions that will come together and will soon pass in turn. Impartiality is not easy. The whole point is to shift our attachment on one side and repulsion to another, leaving an even base so genuine that selfless affection can grow. As seen throughout these meditations, it is the power of a kind or unkind intentions that make an action positive or negative, strong or weak. When intentions are good, all physical or verbal actions are positive. But when intentions are bad, any action, no matter how positive it may look, will in fact be negative. So learn to have kind intentions at all times, no matter what the circumstances are. Often these traits are overlooked or not paid enough attention to in normal college life. Always remember that behavior is temporary. It arises on a dependence upon causes and conditions. Causes and conditions can alter people's qualities, but we often freeze them in time. It is hard to overlook past the arguments, jealousy, competition, and so many more negative daily occurrences in college life. One should not underestimate the power that can occur when you set your mind to these meditation techniques, and it only takes minutes a day. And remember, it is important to check your attitude at all times in cultivating a kind heart. Thank you for watching my video.